In 1998, 6 million violent incidents took place in American high schools, including 29,927 teacher fatalities. The public school system has been reduced to a battlefield. But the Board of Education has just found a solution. The perfect solution.
You're next, Mr. Cope.
For the class of 1999.
What are you?
The class of 1999.
These androids were supposed to educate the students.
Battle droids, Miles. Battle droids.
To graduate is to survive.
You blow it! You blow it! You blow it! You blow it!
Welcome to You Blew It. This is the show where we watch turd sandwiches in HD so you don't have to. Reliving our childhoods one Blu-ray disc at a time. I'm Roden, and as always, joining me is the co-host of this wonderful program, Mr. Kamarikev. How's it going, dude?
What's happening? What's going on?
I think this movie that we are going to discuss in mere moments is possibly one of the best movies that we've watched.
It's a perfect You Blew It movie.
It is a perfect movie for this type of thing.
At the, I don't want to sound like too much of a dirtbag. Well, I was going to say there's no boobs, but technically
there is
some
boob.
boobs. There
is a boob.
And that's why I don't want to be a dirtbag. Like, that's going to hold it back from being like the perfect You Blew It movie. But
I mean, I was going to mention that later on in the program, that it could have used, a bit more nudity.
Yeah,
definitely. But holy shit, I never knew this movie existed. And it is absolutely phenomenal. And you had never watched it before.
I've never watched it.
You own this, but you'd never watched it.
Yeah, I bought this because I actually got this used at
you bought it used?
Half Price Books.
Oh, really?
So I saw it and I was like, I have to. This is perfect for our show.
Sure.
And I have a little link.
You knew the history of this movie a little bit, right?
A little bit. So when I went to, and I always put air quotes, film school at UW, because it was just an Outlook course there that was
sure,
a year long, whatever. But we had two teachers, and the classroom was split up, and you got to choose which teacher you wanted. Mm-hmm. And it was this guy, Eugene Mazzola, who produced this movie.
Right.
Class of 1999. And the other guy was like the AD or assistant director on Little Buddha with Keanu Reeves.
Little Buddha.
Yeah. If you know, it's another movie from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, highbrow stuff for UW. They get the guy who produces Class of 1999. They get the guy that does sort of a mainstream movie that no one's heard of.
Yeah.
But of course, all the artsy fartsy people wanted to go with the guy who worked on Little Buddha. Mm-hmm. And pretty much everybody wanted to go with that guy. So what they did was, okay,
I gotta adjust this microphone here. We're working with a new system here.
Oh, you're doing it while you're. Yeah, I look.
Sorry.
I look a little louder than you, like usual.
I think we've got it now.
Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
We're very laid back here now because you know.
I know it's a very different
vibe, right?
It's a very different vibe.
Yeah.
We're not sitting across a desk from each other anymore.
We're chilling on a couch, and I've got this lounger here.
Uh-huh.
It's very odd.
It's comfortable.
It's very comfortable. I just feel like I could fall asleep right
Although
now.
it's hotter than fucking shit in here.
Pretty hot in here. So what they said was, okay, if everybody or if most people choose to go with one teacher versus the other,
sure,
then we're going to start randomly pulling people out. I immediately went with this guy.
Yeah.
I said, I know everyone's going to go with this other dude who's artsy fartsy bullshit. I want to talk to the guy who works on straight to video.
Yeah.
Because he's going to teach me how to do it cheap and how to get around things and shortcuts and all that shit.
Okay.
So I immediately signed up for this dude.
Yeah.
And everyone else was trying to go to the other guy because I forget, Little Buddha was directed by somebody I think who is like really well known. And so this guy was like the assistant director to this well-known director.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. And And so I just knew that everybody was going to be going that route. And I was like, screw it. I'm here to I want to learn the nuts and bolts, and I want to learn how to do it quick and cheap, because that's probably how I'm going to be doing it if I ever manage to do it.
I think if I would have known about this movie, I probably would have made the same decision.
Yeah. I had, well,
because this movie kind of reminds me a lot of like Nemesis. Are you sure?
Much.
Are you sure this didn't make it into theaters?
No, I'm not sure. It could have made it in the theaters.
Because 89, I mean, dude, we've got a kind of a fucking stellar cast here.
Yeah, heck yeah.
We've got Malcolm McDowell.
Yes,
we've got Pam Grier.
Pam Grier.
And what's the dude with the hair lip again? What's his name? Stacy Keach. Yeah, he's got a hair lip.
Isn't there a better term for that? A cleft palate?
Oh, cleft palate. Yeah, that's probably, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Stacy Keach. You got Stacy Keach. You got Patrick Kilpatrick, dude.
Yeah.
Patrick Kilpatrick, who's legendary for the Sandman and Van Damme's Death Warrant and various other character
and then a bunch of kind of like no-name VOD actors.
Yeah.
Right? Like not VOD, but straight to video actors.
Yeah. The main character, who's like a teenager,
plays Cody.
Plays Cody Culp.
Yeah. And
he's one of the guys who's part of Kiefer Sutherland's crew in
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
Yeah. And he is doing his best Corey Feldman impression.
Very Feldman-esque.
Yeah.
Very Feldman-esque.
And it's like, it's pretty much, so should we go into, well, this, first of all, the movie is based in Seattle. And it was filmed in Seattle in 1989. 88, 89, probably around those times.
Copyright was 89 at the end of the credits. And on the back of this, it says it came out, was released in 90.
Sure.
So I would guess that this was shot in 89.
Okay.
Would be my guess.
And I mean, there is just so much to see of old Seattle in this movie, dude. I love it because we don't get a lot of movies like this filmed over here.
No,
because it's typically very hard for people to film in Seattle. Like,
I think it was easier
not
back
a lot of
then,
incentives.
But definitely not anymore. Like
no way.
And my only complaint is clearly they shot a lot of the stuff tight. Like they didn't have a lot of master shots showing.
Right.
Because it's supposed to be in the future.
Yes.
Which
hard to do when you're doing it in a city with a shoestring budget.
Yeah. And what's funny though too is the movie came out in 1990. This is class of 1999. So it's only 9 years in the future.
I know. Yeah.
So,
shit's really going downhill quick.
Yeah, real quick. Now, they explain at the beginning that there's all these cities across America where gangs have taken over, crime's taken over.
Right.
And they have, what did they call it? A kill zone?
Yeah, so but they only explained that the kill zone was only in Seattle. I don't know if that takes place in like all of the things, but it's all surrounding like the crime and everything is coming from high school children.
Yeah, and they have this. The kill zone basically, cops won't go into it.
Right. But they're just like, fuck it. This is like lawless area. Like we're basically gonna quarantine this area, and whatever happens in there happens.
Which was actually a few years. This movie got it right. They should have just fast forwarded a couple of years, 10 more years.
They should have said it was 2020, and it would have like really rang some bells there. Yeah,
yeah. No, it's I didn't quite get. They said like cops can't go into this zone, yet there is still a school in the zone.
Yes,
and they still want to teach the kids, so. They introduced at the beginning of this movie like RoboCop-esque Terminator robots that are being
introduced as teachers, so that they can kind of control and subdue some of the more violent students.
Now, and the robots are Pam Grier, Patrick Kilpatrick, and another guy.
I can't remember his name.
Brian P. Price or something.
Yeah.
I've seen him in mostly like 70s
very recognizable face.
Very recognizable face. Yeah. And so he's like the older teacher. He's always got a pipe. And Pam Grier's like the younger, hipper teacher. And
she's the chemistry teacher.
And then Patrick Kilpatrick is the
phys ed.
phys ed teacher. So he's kind of all muscled up.
Yeah.
Apparently, all the school needs is three teachers.
Yep.
But
it's run by Stacy Keach's company, and Stacy Keach, like we were watching some of the
amazing,
dude. He's got the most badass like rat tail wig on, and it's like white, straight white. You know.
So apparently they said
white.
that he came to them and said, "I want to be an albino in the movie." So he got a white flat top wig that has a rat tail in the back, and he has like ice blue contacts in.
I don't even think they're blue. I think they're white. They're white.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But then his mustache is still brown, and so are his eyebrows. So he didn't want to go full albino. Like he didn't want to actually dye his hair.
It's a cool look. Like when you see him, you're like, that shit's awesome. But then you go like, okay, this guy's like, I didn't get the albino part. Clearly, neither one of us did.
No, they don't explain it at all.
They don't explain it at all.
He just kind of looks like he might be half cyborg.
That's what I was like. This guy's a robot too.
Yeah,
like there's no way this.
But then that never comes to fruition.
No one even bats an eye.
No
one's even like, hey, that guy that's running these robots around here kind of looks weird. No one is like, everyone's trusting everything that this guy's telling them.
Yeah. Indeed.
So the principal of the school is Malcolm McDowell.
Right.
His daughter is a student. Mm-hmm. The bizarre thing too is
becomes the love interest, by the way.
Correct. Yeah. And the odd thing is like it's this gang.
Well, no, hold on. We gotta. I mean, the elephant in the room. The oddest thing about this movie is that they set it up. All this stuff is happening in this lawless center of town, right?
Yeah.
And for some odd reason, like, I mean, the kids are on drugs.
Yes.
The parents are non-existent. Like, everybody's got like a fully automatic weapon. Like, they're constantly getting into gang wars and stuff. But then they just keep going to school.
Yeah, there's no real. I mean, maybe we missed it in the explanation. At
I don't
the beginning
think so.
of the movie, like why they wouldn't even have to. Like when the kids go into school, they have to check their weapons. This is the other thing; they're just putting them in grocery carts when they check them.
Yeah.
Like, do they give their weapons back to them when they leave?
I think they do.
I
think they do.
The other thing is there's normal students at the school too.
Yes.
That's the other thing.
Like preppy kids.
Yeah.
Like
you don't see them so
daughter.
much, but she is hanging out the daughter of the principal,
Yes.
who apparently is like, yeah, I'm just gonna have my daughter go here too.
Right.
Like-
And most of the prettier actresses in the movie not wearing bras.
Oh,
And they are keeping it at a balmy,
you were
60
saying,
degrees
It really
in
was
in
Seattle.
the halls of that school. Yeah.
Well, okay, so they said that this was a school that was shut down. Did they not?
Right. The filmmakers did.
Yeah, the filmmakers said
they found a shut down school. They also a lot of the neighborhood shots where a lot of the fighting goes on and where, they're kind of showing the rundownness of, where these kids live and stuff was a whole part of, I believe it was SeaTac, right? Or was it closer to Boeing Field? That's what it looked like to me. It was closer to Boeing Field.
Yeah, they just they didn't specify where it was at, but they said that it was
a whole neighborhood that had been basically abandoned by the city of Seattle because it was too close to an airport
or something.
And I think that must be Boeing Field. But it was in really good condition, and these filmmakers came in and just made it look like dirt. Just
put
shit.
Garbage everywhere.
Yeah, garbage everywhere.
Like
they bought half of a decommissioned plane and put it out there and stuff.
Yeah. It's like the movie. It has the high school, the neighborhood, and then another area that was we were trying to figure out where it was. But it's on the water somewhere. It's either on a river.
I think it's on the main river through South Seattle, which is called the Duwamish.
And it was just a bunch of dilapidated buildings.
It was very
industrial.
much like that. Very industrial. It still is very industrial today.
So they must have let these guys hey, nothing's going on with that area, so go blow the shit out of it if you need to.
Yeah.
So
we need you to actually blow up some of these dilapidated buildings.
Destroy this town that we know, or this group of houses that we no longer need.
Yeah.
Destroy whatever you want over here along the river.
Right.
And pretty much destroy whatever you want inside this school.
And we're still dumping, like, the city was probably like, and don't worry about getting shit into the river.
Because we're just dumping raw sewage
We
there
just
anyways.
dump raw sewage into that anyway. We've contaminated that thing. It's like 2 steps away from being the Cuyahoga River and catching on fire.
Just catch on fire.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, too, is some of these classrooms look fairly nice in the inside. So you get into the beginning of, like, when they're walking into the school and there's, like, all these chain links and everything's run down. And then they get into,
But they also have, like, a security, like, team group that, like,
Oh, yeah, that
like,
are...
upkeeps the law at
Yeah, they're
the
in
school.
masks and they're in, like, military garb,
Very
all black.
Gestapo looking
exactly.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Man. So, okay, so he is just the main character, the guy who's from the
Cody?
Lost Boys, Cody Culp.
Not from Lost Boys, Stand By Me.
Fuck me. Did I say
You want to
Lost
start? You
Boys?
want to start over?
No,
you
I don't
start over.
No, I'm not. Yeah, let's. You know what? Cut. Let's start the whole thing over. I just really fucked up. Oh man.
Sitting in a lounge chair
it's got
doing
me
this
now,
show
dude. I'm
is
just chilling
is
out.
you're gonna fucking fall asleep over there.
It does remind me of the Lost Boys, though, the group of the guys. The guys got
Yes.
the bleached hair.
Yeah,
That's
very
why
much
I
so.
keep thinking
Everybody looks
Lost
like they're
Boys.
in fucking Guns N' Roses.
They totally look like they're in Guns N' Roses. All the bullshit.
Everybody's dressed like Axl Rose.
That or the or
ridiculous.
Van Zant, the guitars for the E Street Band. They
Right.
have like all those
all those bandanas.
and shit, just
the
hanging everywhere.
fuck?
Bandanas and chains and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
No. So the main character is the guy from Stand By Me. He gets out of prison or jail or juvie or whatever.
I think he was straight up in prison.
And they tell him, if you fuck up again at school,
Yeah,
you're going
back, and you're going back for the rest of your life.
Hard time. And of course, who does he sit to? Oh, yeah. So wait a minute. Younger brother
Younger brother
when he gets out.
I can't remember what his character's name is.
I don't know what his character is in this movie, but I know
Yeah.
his character's name from Death Warrant, starring Van Damme, of course.
That's right.
His name is Tisdale in that. He's the kid that they hire to do some computer hacking.
Okay.
Which would have been around the same time this movie was made. So 91 is when Death Warrant was made. So his younger brother is joining this gang that was the
Black Hearts.
The Black Hearts. Was he a part of the Black Hearts?
He was. Yeah.
But when he comes out of prison, he's on the straight and narrow. He's like, I can't do that shit anymore.
Yep. I don't want to go back.
Yeah. And
I'm going to go to school.
And his brother says, I'm getting beat in to become a Black Heart.
Right.
And he's like, you don't want to do that. Whatever. Right. So
And there's also this new drug out called Edge.
And their
is,
mom gets wasted off at Edge.
Yeah.
Their buddy, I forget what his name, who I thought was Sasha Mitchell from Family. No, from Step by Step.
Step by Step.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
No.
He's an edge head, if you will. So the funny thing too, I love about, like, you get Terminator cam when these robot teachers come into class.
Yeah.
And you get, like, various things on the screen telling you. And so they'll, like, look at a student and it'll say, like, possible drug addict. It would say all this shit, like, like somehow.
And then what they're going to do about it.
Yeah.
And, like, the one when you first see it, it's Pam Grier's character, because all the kids, their first class is like chemistry or something like that. And she like breaks up a fight and then just beats the living shit out of 2 gangbangers.
Stomps the dudes on his foot.
Yeah. But, like, she has in her, like, view, like, when you get her view, her heads up display, like, it has, like, a number of different options that she can use.
Like kick.
And the first one on the list is karate moves.
Yeah, karate moves. Kick, punch. Yeah. She
It's
does
so
none of them.
awesome. No.
She stomps the dude.
No,
on his
she
foot.
stomps the dude, yeah. Throws one guy up against the wall.
So,
Fucking great.
of course, in this classroom, he sits next to the principal's daughter. Mm-hmm. And they have a little exchange. They're kind of both into each other.
I've seen this woman before in something else.
I think
as well.
so, yeah. And the other thing that's going on is the gang that he used to be involved with doesn't like him anymore because he's going straight.
Yeah. Yep.
The other gang that they're fighting doesn't like him because their gangs always are warring.
Yes.
That's why they're in the kill zone. And so all that's going on in the background while these new teacher robots come in, and none of the students know that they are robots.
Right. And it's all being run by Stacy Keach's character, kind of in the bowels of the school.
And Stacy Keach wants it to be successful.
Right.
And the principal wants it to be successful.
Yeah.
So that way he says no bones about it. He wants to make money off of this. Like,
right,
this is
right.
You know, and so.
Oh, first, I mean, you know, the first time you meet this guy, you just know he's
a scumbag.
He's a scumbag.
Well, I mean,
Just
he's got
evil.
fluorescent eyes.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
He's like.
They make it easy.
Yeah.
They make it easy for the viewer.
So at the beginning, you get to see all these robot teachers in action. You get Pam Grier. She's got a
Right.
problem in her class. She handles it with violence. You got the other dude, the older dude with the pipe all the time.
Yeah.
He's the history teacher.
This is a great scene.
It is
by
a
the
great
way.
scene.
This is so funny. Like he's walking through class, like telling everybody about history and why history is important. And then like two kids start fighting each other, and he grabs both of them and he spanks them in front of the classroom.
And it sounds like, okay, so what? He spanks him. No, he's got like, he's got like a robot. Like, it's just like
He's doing it over and
over and over. And the way
super
they
fast.
shoot it looks pretty great. It's
Oh
like
man,
pretty awesome.
it's awesome.
And so he
good.
just he throws one kid down on the ground and uses him as a footrest,
Right,
and bends
right.
the other guy over his knee and just goes like whap 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 whap, and then like throws that guy off, picks
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
guy up,
Yeah, yeah.
and spanks his ass, and
Oh
then throws
my
him
God,
off.
it's so fucking
And then they're
great,
both
dude.
laying there,
Yeah.
on the ground, and
It's like so painful.
and he just starts teaching class while they're laying on. They're like, oh, let's go back into it.
Was there a point? Did you get spanked as a kid?
Boy, you know, I remember
I
my
did.
mom. My mom would take out the wooden spoon sometimes.
Like just as a threat?
But I do remember her using it a couple of times, but it was like comical to me and my brothers, right? It was like,
yeah.
you know, it would hurt if you put your hand back there and she accidentally wrapped your knuckles while doing it.
yeah.
But you know, you've seen my mom, like there's no, but yeah, so that was the worst of it. I never got like paddled at school. That was always a
Oh,
rumor.
no.
That was a
Yeah.
rumor in my school that you could get paddled by the principal.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't know if it was true.
Oof, that
But-
did not happen in my school.
And my
that wasn't
dad
even
would-
a rumor. But
My dad would threaten with his belt.
see, my dad would spank us.
Really?
Oh yeah. And I think, you know, at a younger age, definitely hurt. But it got to a point where it was just like you pretended that it hurt.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I pretended with my
You
mom
know?
all the time. Me and my brothers would look while we're not facing her, and we're like look at each other and just be
Yeah.
laughing while she's
Right. But I can only imagine, like, to put myself into the position of, like, you know, the actual like movie setting.
Oh,
right,
God.
for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
being hit with like a metal like hand.
Yeah.
That'd be
Here we
pretty painful.
go. We got it playing in the background. We're
Yeah, yeah.
watching the spanking scene right now.
fucking great.
It's fucking awesome.
It's so good. It's so good.
And the funny thing is like this crew of people, they've got all these cameras. They can see whatever the robots are seeing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Stacy Keach is just sadistic. He loves every second.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
he's just getting off on it, dude.
And the guys that kind of are like his underlings that are doing a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
They're kind of like questioning, like, I don't know if they should have really, you know,
Well,
beat the fuck out of that kid like that, sir. And he's like,
But-
it's corporal punishment.
But so like when Pam Grier did it and literally shoved her heel through some kid's foot, right? And like held him by the neck.
Did
up
it go?
Against,
Did it go through his foot?
Yes,
I didn't.
it like
okay.
went through his boot.
Yeah.
And they're just like all like, wow, it's working, right? Like they're doing what we want them to do.
Yeah.
And then when they spank the kids, one of the guy turns around and is like, is this legal?
That's right. Yeah.
It's like, well, I can tell you that definitely, you know, skewering somebody's foot probably
He is.
isn't.
Yeah. Right. Like
You know?
with the spanking. That's what you're questioning.
Yeah.
Then we find out that of course their mom is also. Did I say this earlier? That she's an edgehead as well.
She's an edgehead. Yeah.
So you see that their upbringing was not the best upbringing.
Yeah, the home life is not great. Home life is not great. Their friend gets beat the fuck up by like the school people and by he's by the phys ed teacher or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's what
He's
he
all
says.
scraped up and shit. And he's
Yeah.
like got cuts all over his chest.
I
and
thought
stuff.
also that he said that you guys left me in the parking lot and it was the other gang that got
Yeah,
him.
no. Oh, was it the gang?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, maybe it was the gang. Okay, I can't remember. Anyway,
Yeah. So, then we get to the third teacher, Patrick Kilpatrick.
right.
Right?
Right.
Where the main character, Cody, is in phys ed.
Well, he saves the principal's daughter
Oh, I
from
forgot
getting
about
sexually
that. Good
assaulted by the
Lord.
rival gang.
That's
by
right.
a rival gang member, and so he gets into a fight. The phys ed teacher, Patrick Kilpatrick's robot character, like catches him, takes him to the principal's office, and then
That's right.
and then he has to go to phys ed. Like Malcolm McDowell, the principal, is like, "Hey, I'm going to let you off with a warning. You were actually helping somebody, so I understand, but you got to watch your butt because, like, one more thing, and you're fucking back to prison."
Yeah.
pal.
I
And
love
so-
too that he says to him like, "Hey, they're gonna rape your daughter," or whatever he says, and the guy's like, "Yeah, but you still shouldn't be fighting." It's like something kind of
Yeah.
like that. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, dude, what?"
Right.
So the Patrick Kilpatrick character later on, he's more sadistic than the others.
He's like super sadistic.
Rightfully so, because it's Patrick Kilpatrick. I mean,
Right,
the guy
right.
just plays sadistic fucks in movies.
Yeah. He's making this kid like do like 200 push-ups or some
Yeah.
shit, and he can't do it. And so he fucking chokes him out, right?
Yeah.
And like puts him in a fucking arm lock or some shit.
And then some. So
And then makes Cody stay behind, and then
because he's
puts
got it
him-
out for because he's
Yeah,
got it
yeah.
out for Cody now. He's
Right.
just like, this guy's bad, and I need to take care of him.
This is one of the problems that I did have with like the characters that are playing the robots.
Yes.
Like they're not robot-like enough.
Yeah.
They're not dead behind the eyes.
Well,
right?
but also keep in mind though, you said that while we were watching the movie too, but I thought like the whole part of it is that the students are supposed to be like fooled.
Right.
So
that's true.
They can't
That's
be
true.
that robotic because then they'd get it right away. Like, these guys
Yeah.
are like robots. At no point do they say they're like robots. They're just like, something's up with these teachers.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
there's not
That's
really
true.
the older guy with the pipe. He's got some sort of steely blue eye like contacts in too.
Yeah.
His eyes
Yeah.
are really blue, but not extreme to the point of like a Stacy Keach. But he's got something going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why they did that, but I would agree with you. But when they're
Like
found out and when they're just going after them to kill them, they should have gone a full blown robot.
Yeah, they should have been like no
Expression.
facial expression, just like walking through the streets, just like a a
Yeah.
robot. Yeah.
So he gets held back. He's getting beat up by Patrick Kilpatrick. He's like wrestling him basically.
Right.
Putting him like torture holds. And a dude that's all edged out.
Well, that's the dude that he was making do the 200 push-ups before.
He goes and grabs a gun.
Right. He's got one hidden in his locker.
But
He
he's
does
all
some-
edged out,
He does
too.
some edge,
He does some edge.
and then he grabs the gun, and he's going to go shoot the phys ed teacher,
Yeah.
because the phys ed teacher is literally killing Cody.
Yes.
At this point.
Yeah.
Like there is blood coming out of his mouth.
That's
and
right,
He's
yeah.
choking him down on the mat.
Yeah.
Right. And then so this is the first death scene we see, because the phys ed teacher then grabs the gun and breaks the kid's neck.
Like,
Snaps it. Just snap.
okay, let's stop for a second here. The practical effects in this movie are fucking good.
They are really. That's why I said it was like Nemesis. It was
stunt-
reminding me of Nemesis.
The stunt work and the practical effects are fucking good.
Like they spent some fucking money on this movie, man.
but they saved it for that stuff, which is a smart, like.
Oh, you mean like just the special effects?
Yeah, they got a lot of production value out of
Yes,
that,
yeah.
right? It's competent. It's competently shot. I mean,
And
for one.
it's competently written too. I mean, some of it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't follow its own logic and
Yeah, no,
but
but
they did a great job. This movie's awesome.
yeah, it's awesome for like a genre movie. This movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Now, this is
we
a
should we should also say that the director is Mark L. Lester, who directed Commando,
Right.
Showdown in Little Tokyo, which we've done on this show. Both of those
yeah.
movies we've done on this show.
Sure.
So he's a competent genre director.
Yeah,
action movie.
Commando's amazing.
Yeah.
Commando's
Like,
great.
Okay,
So what? This is a sequel.
right. So he did the movie Class of 1984, which I've never seen. Which
I've never
came out
seen
in like
too, but-
83.
But now I want to see it.
Me too.
Because
Me too.
if it's anything like this, I don't know if it's as crazy, right?
Yeah, I don't know either. And
Like
he says that-
futuristic, like robotic
Yeah, I
and
don't-
stuff.
I don't- yeah.
I think it's like a real teacher.
I
or
think you're
something
right,
that's,
yeah.
you know, in that one.
So what I was going to say is like the stunt work's really good here too. And when he snaps these guys' necks and like I can't explain it, but you know, in these movies where you'll see a neck snap, like
Right.
they happen all the time. Like,
Yeah.
did they knock the guy out? Did they break his neck? I don't know what happens. They go, and he goes, but a lot of the stunt work, like he's just slammed this kid down on the mat.
Yeah.
And when he snaps this kid's neck, it's pretty gross looking. They do a really good job.
Dude, there's a couple of scenes. There's one later on too where a gang member gets pulled through a hole, and then like a hole in the wall.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
like his body breaks in half.
Folds
and
him
it's-
the wrong way. Like,
Yeah. It's fucking
It's
great.
awesome.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love this kind of shit, man.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I agree.
Oh,
So
it's wonderful.
Patrick Kilpatrick ends up killing this kid.
Right. And then Cody goes back and like is trying to tell
Yeah.
like other students like, hey, this is happening.
This guy just, he just-
And then, but later on the same day, right? Like the history teacher goes and kills his friend.
Yep.
Because his friend shows up all drugged out.
Yep.
And then this is another good death scene. This is the great thing about this movie is like, and this is
kind of-
what people like who doing horror movies don't understand anymore is like you have to create really creative death scenes.
yes.
To make the movie fun.
It's death scenes in horror or like fight scenes in
Yes.
martial arts movies.
You have to make creative death scenes.
Yes.
Do you think this would be considered a horror movie?
I was going to say that early too. Yeah.
It kind of ventures into that, by
it's
the
a
way.
sci-fi movie mixed with horror. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
post-apocalyptic
Right.
or whatever.
So the next kid that dies is Cody's friend. He comes in all edged out into the history class late.
Yes.
And then the professor is like, you know, fuck this. You're going, I'm taking you out of here. He takes him out to the hallway, finds his locker, punches his hand through his locker, grabs all the edge that's in there, and then just starts shoving these glass
Yeah.
vials down
Force
his throat.
feeding him, yeah, I know.
Force feeding him in there. And then he dies.
Yeah. He's got all sorts of slime boiling out of his mouth.
And he steals his cross. So Cody sees him put the cross into his coat pocket when he comes back into class.
Yeah.
And so he's like, dude, these teachers are killing the students. It's kind of like The Faculty, if you've seen that.
I've not seen that. And so, but no one's believing Cody.
Right. Which is crazy to me. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. But it's classic for these kind of movies to do that
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we as the audience know it and we're with the main character.
Yeah.
Like, no one will believe him.
But as far as the logic for the movie is concerned, this is another, you know, thing with this movie is
Yeah.
like the kids would have believed it because these teachers
yeah.
are already showing
They're already like, yeah.
they're fucking assholes.
I saw him beat the shit, stomp
Yeah,
that dude's
dude.
foot, and beat the
Yeah.
shit out of those other
Yeah.
dudes. Yeah, yeah. And so since it's all on video, the Stacy Keach character is seeing this shit, and the Malcolm McDowell character is like, I don't know if they should be killing kids.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
you don't think so?
Well, even Stacy Keach's like workers and stuff, like his employees,
Yeah.
for the company that he works for, because by the way, it's a private company that, like,
Yeah.
defense company that's in there, and they're also like, dude, we need to shut this shit down. And Stacy Keach is like, he is fucking rock hard.
Yeah, he loves it.
Watching this shit, he is like, it is working.
And
It
he
is working.
basically doesn't he at some point tell like Malcolm McDowell, the principal, he's basically like, you don't want people knowing about this either.
Well, that's
Like,
later.
right?
They are at dinner together.
Yeah.
Because the press, they should have gone more into this too. Like the press show up because
Yeah.
they've reported the deaths now.
Yeah.
Right? They can't cover up the actual deaths. But the press shows up to like interview Malcolm McDowell, the principal's character, and he kind of covers it up a little bit.
Well, yeah,
he covers up how the death occurred.
Well, and basically the Stacy Keach character, like, he pulled a gun.
Right.
So
he pulled a knife.
The guy that
the guy before, the
Patrick
wrestling.
Kilpatrick snaps his neck.
Yep.
He's like, well, the kid came in with a gun.
Sure.
So the teacher was protecting
Defending himself. Yeah.
So Stacy Keach, what you find out basically that these robots
are actually from the military.
They're from the military. They're combat robots that they retrofitted to be teachers.
Which, by the way, again, great fucking concept.
Good stuff.
Great
Good
concept,
stuff.
man.
Good stuff.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So at some point, and I know I'm fast forwarding a little bit because we're
it's fine.
doing this, like at some point these teacher robots get together and they're like, we need to create a gang, like basically manufacture a gang war.
Right.
And I can't remember what sets them off to that point.
Well, so Cody is trying to convince the principal's daughter that this is happening, and she's like not believing him at all. Right. So he's like, let's go break in. Oh, he grabs something off of the principal's desk.
Yeah.
Because he wants to, confront the principal about it. And the principal's like, they were on drugs. And then, so he grabs something off of his desk as he's walking out. And this was when the press show up. And,
is this what has the address?
It has the address of all those teachers, and they all end up living in the same place.
So like that's kind of weird.
Like, that's weird. And so then they go to their house, which is 1989, like
brand new
condo construction, and just to see like the light fixtures in that place.
Yeah.
Just, man, what a blast of nostalgia that
I do
is.
love too that the movie bounces from like, down, like you said, Tukwila or whatever it is, wherever the Duwamish River is, whatever it's like. Is that below?
That would be like South Seattle.
So you would be able to see the West Seattle Bridge though from there, right? Correct.
Yes.
So that sort of area with shipping containers, all that shit.
Yeah.
You've got under the viaduct quite a bit.
Yes.
They like to do that.
Indeed.
And then when they go to this teacher shit, it's either like Magnolia or Queen Anne, something like that, and it's so vastly different than the other neighborhoods where the kids are. Like I love.
Well, the funniest thing too is like they
this.
basically at the beginning of the movie too, they say that the kill zone is in basically like Greenwood or
it
it's
is
kind of not Greenwood,
that
but
far
like
north,
University District.
Yeah, or
is where it's kind of at.
It is kind of the way that they show the map is like, is that the Aurora Bridge or is that the is that the Ship Canal Bridge? I couldn't really tell which the little map they had.
Yeah,
but you're right. It would either be like not Maple Leaf, but like Roosevelt or
U District.
Yeah,
and if you know Seattle, like all the locations that they're at are nowhere near. nowhere near.
Which is great about movies like this. Like
Yeah, if you know the geography, that's part of what makes it fun. Right?
Yeah. So they go in, they break into their condo.
Right. And there's nothing there except for like in the cupboards. It's so great. It's just like
ridiculous.
It's like 100 cans of WD-40.
WD-40. What's in the fridge? There's like some sort of fuel or something.
Fuel canisters or something like that. And then there's some other like lubricant like spray that's in another cupboard.
Let me ask you a question here.
It's so hilarious.
Now, what do you think killer teacher robots would be driving in the year 1999?
Oh, definitely a Ford Taurus.
Oh, bingo. A 1990s, maybe 80, maybe 84, 80 whatever to 90.
Yeah.
Ford Taurus.
Right. Yeah.
So the Taurus comes rolling up and they're like, oh shit, they're
three deep in that fucking thing.
They are three deep, yeah. Three deep. The robots yeah.
They carpool. They
carpool, which is great.
Save on gas.
No light rail back then. So what are they going to do?
Still had the trolley though.
Yeah. So they basically
come home and find them inside as
find
they're
them inside.
going out the back
They don't
door.
get to stop them, but they know exactly who they are.
Dude, when they took off, because I think
Oh my
that
God.
must have been in Queen Anne, right? Because it was kind of steep.
It's steep. It could be. There's some places like that in Magnolia too.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. So Seattle, very hilly city.
Yes.
And like they take off out of the driveway of this townhouse and fucking bottom out that Taurus like 3
Yeah.
times.
The
It like
soft
bounces.
suspensions is like,
It
wha-
bounces up and then back
ridiculous.
down and bounces. Dude, I'll bet you anything that car did not run after they took off out of that driveway.
Well, you know what? We had a Taurus. We had an '84 Taurus that was my grandpa's, and that thing took a licking and kept on ticking.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Those
God.
things were.
But it was so funny to watch that. And so then they're chasing like Cody on his motorbike
Yeah.
throughout the streets.
Yeah.
And they like ram into the rear wheel of Cody's motorbike like several times.
Yeah.
And he stays on.
Which is amazing.
Amazing.
But they end up driving. He ends up fooling them, and they drive off of like the end of a
Oh yeah, the
And like an
unfinished viaduct off ramp
Ramp or something?
Which I don't remember those ever being a thing down
I remember
there,
having a few.
but it looked real.
I remember having a few off ramps, various places in Seattle, but none right on the water.
Right.
Like where
right
would
above Pier 64, which is where that was. or
where would that
62.
possibly be going?
It wouldn't have gone anywhere because it was going over the water. Like I don't understand how that scene was shot because it was downtown. It was right on the waterfront.
Yeah.
Right.
It looked like it's me. I mean,
Because there was that completely abandoned pier
Yeah.
that was there forever. And
they
like,
drove this fucking Ford
the
Taurus
fucking
right into the
car
water.
off of it right into the fucking water.
Yeah.
Out in front of Seattle. Like I don't know where that was.
They probably just craned it back out and took it out of there.
Sure.
I mean, I guess that's what you could get away with back in the day before
sure,
CG
yeah.
and all that shit, dude.
I mean, there wasn't a lot
Environmental
going on
things,
in
you know.
1989 in Seattle, except for an underground music scene that was about to fucking explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right at this time.
Right at this time.
Okay, so then what happens is basically they're
and then
like-
they swim. Basically,
Oh, yeah,
the
they
robots end up in fucking West Seattle on the
coming
beach,
out of the
on
water.
Alki.
Yeah, on Alki. Which, to the credit of Pam Grier and Patrick Kilpatrick and this other guy,
Yeah.
they obviously go out. I mean, they're out.
Oh, they're wet.
And it's when they come up, you can see the breath. You can see the steam coming off of them.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like,
especially
man, it'd be
the
so fucking cold. Man.
the history teacher
Yo,
guy
yeah.
looks fucking freezing
Yes.
cold. He looks
Yeah.
so cold.
Yeah.
He is just barely eking out a line.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So-
that's like a 2-mile swim for people who don't. who
Yeah,
don't live
that's
here in Seattle.
that's quite a swim. Yeah, they apparently didn't grab a water taxi over
Yeah,
there.
right.
So they kidnap the principal's daughter. They end up
Well,
killing.
no,
they end up
that's-
killing the principal. I'm just fast forwarding because I don't.
That's
I think-
way fast forwarding though. Like they start the gang war first.
right.
Remember?
Well, I was going to list all the kind of the things that go on.
Oh, okay.
In all this shit because
Well, first they take and kill Cody's younger brother.
Yes, they kill his brother. They kidnap her. They start a gang war. They kill her dad. It kind of all is in like this boiling sort of cauldron of chaos that these guys are fucking putting together.
So the way that they create the gang war though is that they kill Cody's brother. They write some
that's right,
shit on a basketball.
Yeah.
Suggesting that it's the other gang,
yeah.
the rival gang, the Razor Blades or something.
I forget.
The Razor Boys.
Yeah, something
What
like
is it?
that.
I don't know. But then they take one of the Razor Boys, light him on fire, and throw him through the window of their gang hideout.
That's
and
right.
it was the
It was
best.
awesome.
Once again, another extremely creative fucking death scene, dude.
And like practical effects done really well.
Oh, and they
Like a
take
real
Cody's
dude on
little
fire
brother
goes
and they
flying.
throw him like 50 feet into the side of a house.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It's all good stuff.
Oh, it's so good.
It looks great.
So good.
So yeah, so they basically are like, they say where the turf is and where this war is going to happen. So, but he still has some suspicions about the teachers, but our main.
But then when he
character-
sees that, he's like,
"Fuck
no,
it, let's
I'm
go.
joining the gang again.
Fuck it, we're
Let's
fighting.
go. I'm
We're fighting with them. They killed my
revenge
brother,
for
we're
my
fighting.
brother. Yeah,
So they start this war, which is down on
the waterfront.
the waterfront. They're just blowing up
Duwamish
buildings.
River.
There's just garbage, junk, barrels of shit. They're blowing stuff up.
Absolute carnage.
Absolute carnage. Automatic weapons firing everywhere.
So Cody's got this fucking little Mac 10.
That's got like a scope thing
It's
on
got a
top.
scope on it and a silencer.
Futuristic.
Yeah.
But the flames that
Love
come
it.
out of it are like a foot and a half long, dude. They're just like
Yeah.
out of the tip of it. And the teachers are down there, but they're kind of hiding. They're not making their presence really well known.
Right, but they just start killing everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
And he finally sees like the Patrick Kilpatrick.
This is where that kid gets torn through the hole in the
That's
side
right.
of the building and
Yeah.
gets
pulled like
chopped
what
in half.
do they call that when you fall and you almost like do a front? How do you do? It's called a scorpion. When you scorpion.
Oh, I have
It's like
no
when
idea.
you fall on the ground and you're falling on your chest, but you got so much momentum that your legs start to roll over the top of you. They call that being scorpion. The guy is scorpion through a hole that he can't fit through.
Oh my
so
God,
it bends
dude.
his back like backwards and like tears him in half.
Yeah, tears him right in half. And it's the history teacher.
Yeah.
And Cody shoots him, and of course the history teacher doesn't even flinch, basically.
And he's like, wait a minute, okay.
yeah, and there's green shit coming out of him, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So this all culminates. So finally, like, then she's kidnapped,
right.
and
Well, they kill the principal first.
and they killed the principal. She's kidnapped, and but she doesn't know about her dad, and they don't know about the principal
Right,
until the very
right.
end. So Cody finally convinces the rival gang, like, look, it's these teachers,
yeah.
and they're trying to make us fight each other.
Right.
But it's these assholes, and they've got my girl.
And this is the climax of the movie because they're all they were gonna fight at the school
Yeah.
again. Cody talks, the other rival gang out of it and says, join us.
Which is pretty great because the dude's like, wait a minute. You want me to go into school and kill these teachers? That's
Yeah.
what you want us to do? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the dude's not like, he's like, okay, let's hold off. Let's go in and kill these teachers. And if that's not the case, then we'll come back out here and fight.
Right. Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. He's like, but if it's not true, we're still fighting.
you're
right?
still fighting. I just love the idea of like the only thing that can get these guys to stop is a greater good.
Yeah.
Killing their
totally.
teachers, dude.
Well, and it was cool too because we were watching some of the special features after watching the movie too, and it was like they were kind of the director was talking about how like one of the big problems they had with like writing this movie was trying to make like some sort of redeemable qualities for the gangs because
Yeah.
they had to turn the gangs into the good guys. We're just watching the scene right now where the Ford Taurus is going down that driveway. Just ruined that brand new
Totally
driveway too.
Tore that shit up, dude.
But yeah, so they go into the school, right? And they're all kind of fighting. And this
Well,
is,
first of all,
like
they ride their motorcycles into the school.
it's so
It's
ridiculous.
fucking dumb.
They ride the motorcycles into the school, but not only that, they're riding their motorcycles around the school inside.
Yeah, so they'll go like, okay,
It
let's
makes no
check
fucking
this
sense.
room. And it's a room that you can just duck your head in and go like,
Yeah.
nope, no one's in here. They'll drive their motorcycle into the room, drive around the desks.
Yeah, they drive around the desks and then back out the door, and
Yeah.
you can see them like hitting, like the actors are accidentally hitting the walls
It's-
and like
it's the-
and like almost falling off the bike. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Like even as a kid, I don't think I would think, oh, that's super cool.
Yeah,
like
no.
why
Like,
was that?
This is so awkward.
Why was that
and,
even
like,
a thing?
Yeah.
And it made everything like the whole interiors were so smoky with exhaust.
Yeah,
Like you couldn't,
yeah.
like it was just kind of shitty to
Yeah.
watch. But yeah, it's basically, it comes down to just Cody and then the other rival gang leader whose
Yep.
name is Hector, I believe.
Which then at some point here, they're like totally going like Latino gang. Like apparently the guy's saying
Right,
"Essay now."
he starts speaking in Spanish at one point, right?
Yeah, it's really like
Yeah.
At no point in the movie was that tone taken, but okay, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally on the waterfront. We're watching this car go into the water. You can see the Smith Tower in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, that's crazy.
And there's that awesome condo that's been there forever.
Yeah.
As well. But yeah, so they're driving their motorcycles around on the inside of the building, and
while they're
just getting blasted, dude.
Well,
They're not doing well.
There's some cool reveals when they're in there because we find out that the weaponization of these robots that the military set up, they have like hidden things, right? So Kilpatrick's arm, like basically fall like from the elbow down falls off, and he's got this like
a rocket launcher, like a spindle rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher. Pam Grier.
This is the first boob we get to see too. Pam Grier, they shoot up her chest.
They shoot up her chest. It opens up. I don't understand what's in the chest. It's like her gas canisters. Gas canisters
for her flamethrower arm.
So it rips apart, and she's got like one of her titties just kind of nipple just hanging there.
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's there for the rest of the movie. Like that shirt is glued to that fake boob that's sticking out.
And then one of her arms is falling off again, and it's a flamethrower, and all the gas that's inside her torso is and the amount of shit they have strapped on poor Pam Grier. Because when you see her, when like she's
must have been a good 50 pounds.
Oh my God, when she's wearing just like her regular suit coat when she's teaching or whatever, you know, she's a fit lady. I don't know what to say. They strap all this stuff on her, and she's like barrel chested. She's got all this shit hanging off of her. And then what was the other guy's superpower? Oh, he had like a claw thing.
He had a claw.
His hand turned
like
into
a tri-claw.
A tri-claw that had a drill that came out of the palm
in
of it. Yeah.
And I mentioned at one point, I was like, this is not like military grade weapons. These are just like torture devices.
Yeah. It's
like, what are we doing as a military here?
Yeah. This is really...
Because he gets so they find Cody's girlfriend, the principal's daughter, locked in a cage.
Yeah.
And they get her out, him and one of his gang members and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like the history teacher comes in there and grabs the face of his buddy, and just like this drill comes out of the middle of that tri-claw and just goes straight into his fucking forehead.
Yeah.
And it is awesome. And then Cody finally grabs a gun and shoots the dude through the head.
Yeah, it just
and like the back of his head
shit.
just explodes with like
Green
robot
shit.
parts
And green shit.
It's
great.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
And then Pam Grier finally meets her end when Cody throws an axe and hits her right in the exposed gas canisters in her chest. And then
I love earlier when that gets opened up too, and you see the canisters. They say like highly flammable. Printed on them.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta. It's law. It's OSHA standards. You gotta have the warning label on there.
Yeah. So yeah,
but we're left with Patrick Kilpatrick,
rightfully so.
Yeah. Who has become a real force of nature and is just blowing shit up left and right with those missiles.
Yeah, with his missiles.
Right.
So they take one of the buses and they ram him through the front of the school.
Yeah. And of course he's not dead yet.
Of course he's not dead.
And this is where we get the scene that's just like we were both like
we were waiting for it. We're like, this dude's not dead, and we're gonna get an exoskeleton Terminator style bullshit.
Which they steal a couple of scenes directly from the Terminator, showing like the claw android foot hitting the floor and stuff like that. Yeah, that's fucking great, man.
It's a mix of, there's a little bit of stop motion, not a whole lot.
Yeah, I think it was mostly puppeteer work,
which was really cool looking, dude.
Yeah, it looked great, and it looked fantastic.
They took obviously like an imprint of Patrick's face, a mold of his face, and so it's half his face and half like robot underneath.
And it's just so good, dude. I just love this kind of shit, man.
Me too.
And then they basically just like rip his head off with a forklift,
with a forklift
in the basement.
Which got really awkward and weird. It was like, why is there a forklift in this tiny little basement room thing?
How did it get down there?
Yeah, and then he's chasing after his girlfriend up on this ladder, and Cody takes the forklift and rams one of the tines through the robot, barely missing his girlfriend.
Right. Almost skewered her. And then backs up and pulls. She's like hanging on to one of the tines or whatever, and then he's impaled on it, and then she wraps a chain around the dude's neck and then jumps off of the ladder
or whatever, and then he just starts lowering the jack and just fucking separates his head,
tears him apart. Yeah.
Green goo going,
which is great
again.
But then I mean, right before that happens too, it's like we meet back up with God, what's the actor's name
Hector
again?
or whatever, or McDowell.
No, not McDowell. The guy with the fucking rat tail.
Oh, yes. Stacy Keach.
Stacy Keach. Yeah. We meet back up with him. He and then the robot fucking tears his heart out.
That's right.
Through his back.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And he's holding the kids at gunpoint, basically.
Right.
But that Patrick Kilpatrick robot's gone so sideways. He's just killing anything that's alive.
Yeah. Anything that's human.
Stacy Keach gets it.
Yeah.
And that's when she finds out that her dad has been killed.
Right. Well,
he's laying on the ground.
Dude, that's another creative death scene too, because the history teacher like grabs him by the neck and sticks his fingers straight into his neck.
He squeezes so tight that his fingers go through his around
and
his
so when he lets
larynx.
Go, he lands on the floor and they show his neck
Finger
and it's just
holes.
like finger holes. It's fucking awesome, dude.
I love too. She comes in, she's like, "Oh, we got my dad." And he and Cody's like, "We'll come back.
We'll come back.
We'll come back later."
Yeah.
My dad's fucking murdered on the floor. We'll come back later. Don't worry. They don't come back later.
No.
Just to let you know. Yeah. They end up blowing up the school, more or less, and walking out. On the stairs, and
that's it.
By the skin of their teeth. Roll credits. And
dude, for sure. One of the best ones we've watched. This was so entertaining.
This is
so entertaining.
This is exactly what this show, this podcast is made for, is this kind of shit, right? Like,
I don't know, man. This one is better. This movie is kind of better than a lot of the ones that we've watched.
No,
I
know
it's
this, but I'm saying
competently
this
done.
is
the acting's good.
This is peak what genre shit like this can be.
That is true. I mean? That is true.
Like this gets lumped into all the other garbage bin of trash, right? It's one of those, but it's obviously it's a level above that a lot of the shit we watch.
It really is.
And it's too bad. I mean, I'm glad, I forget who put this out. It's Vestron. Which is Lionsgate. So Lionsgate owns a lot of catalog shit now. And so originally this was Vestron. They would make a lot of shit that was kind of straight to video or B movies and not in many theaters and all this stuff. So they put it back out under the Vestron label. It is a special edition. It's got a bunch of stuff.
It's even got a box. What do you call that? Box cover or something? Slip cover?
Yeah, slip cover.
Yeah. God, what a fucking good movie. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. Everything about this movie is so ridiculous. It's so fun. The costumes and like wardrobe that all these fucking dipshit gang members wear.
Yeah.
It's just out of this world, man.
I think the thing for me is why I never rented it is I didn't like this cover.
No, the cover is so terrible.
It's got it's got some shiny faced Destro looking head.
Yes. Yeah.
And in the reflection,
perfect description.
In the reflection, I can't even tell.
Are the kids, aren't they?
Oh man,
are they the kids?
It's either the kids or the teachers, but no, bro.
Who is it?
These are not anybody who's in this movie. I swear to you. Maybe a couple of them. Look at this. You're going to need a light on that. That's not the main character. And whoever that blonde girl is, I don't know who that is.
They look like they tried to make it paint the characters. Because the blonde guy over here is his buddy.
Yep,
that's the gang leader.
That's the only one
for the Blackhearts. The girl looks like she's not preppy enough, though.
Yeah.
She's all done, all punked up and stuff.
Bad cover. Either way you slice
Bad
it, terrible cover.
Terrible cover. Does not fit the movie at all. At all. Yeah.
Yeah. So I never
Bad
rented
cover.
it. I never rented it because, again, I was nut deep in Van Damage at this point, too.
I don't remember seeing it ever.
You know what?
But
actually,
Jesus
sorry.
Christ, dude. So good.
Oh, it's great. We're sorry. We're just watching it. Like,
I know. We're watching
like
it again.
Getting massacred in the
Yeah.
with all the squibs and shit. Yeah, I remember seeing the cover, not being interested, then finding out that the guy that was teaching the class was a part of it, then was
Yeah.
kind of interested in it, but then couldn't really find it anywhere.
Right.
And kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
That was that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm sure you can find it on a streaming service.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would highly recommend that you
Yes.
watch this. If you're listening to the show, you are a fan of this type of thing, this is definitely a watch. And like, if you find it somewhere, fucking buy it, because this is also worth an own.
yeah.
For sure.
I would say probably the reason why also we didn't see it is I think it's just a touch too violent for like your Channel 11 Saturday matinee movie.
Yeah, there is a lot of gore in it.
There would take quite a bit of editing
Yeah.
to take care of some of this stuff.
Yeah, they'd have to take a lot of things out.
Yeah, and there wouldn't be much of a movie there because it's a lot of the gross kill scenes.
Right. Although I will say, like, I mean, they did that with RoboCop. They did it with Predator.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
They had all that stuff there.
Yeah.
You know? They, like, can zoom in or something like that to, like, you know, cut things out of the frame
That's
or
true.
something like that, you know? On
Well,
those things.
but you know, those are big budget popular movies.
That's true.
Whereas
Yeah,
like
that's
a
a good
movie
point.
like this is like, are we going to pay for it to do all that
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
To
That's a
really
good
know it.
point.
Yeah. That's the problem with a lot of these.
We need to do a couple more like movies about like that are based in Seattle, like that were actually filmed in Seattle.
Well, this is our second movie that we've done that's been filmed in Seattle.
What was the other one?
I know of. No Retreat, No Surrender.
No Retreat, No Surrender. Yeah. Yeah.
Parts of it were filmed in Seattle, but most
Yeah.
of it was filmed in L.A.
Right.
It turns out that Seattle doesn't have too many palm trees, but their version of
right.
Seattle
I
did.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
I think those are the only two Seattle movies that we have.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
what
even-
else? What else has been filmed
Fuck,
here
I
that we
don't know.
can watch? I know Assassins with Antonio Banderas.
I've
and
never really
Sylvester
sat through that entire
Stallone.
movie. Yeah.
I fall asleep every time I turn it on.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen parts of it.
But I would like to watch that one again.
Sure.
Maybe we should do that because that is a fucking turd.
Yeah.
So, and then of course Singles, but
Oh, yeah.
Singles is actually a good movie.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty solid movie.
So, well, maybe
we'll look it
maybe
up.
we'll
We'll
watch it
look it
sometime.
up. We'll look it up. We'll look it up.
Yeah. So, Blu It's. I'm giving it a full 5, dude.
You're going a full 5.
I am going a full 5 for this movie. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I had so much fun with this.
I'll give it a 4.
4? Okay.
4.5.
Totally. All right.
And by the way,
Would have loved to see a little bit more nudity in this, though.
yeah, that's
sure.
just the pervy. That's just the perv and all.
Yeah,
this.
yeah. But it's it's strange too. Like, you know, every time we watch these things, I completely revert back to my child self, and like I could not tear my eyes away from the fake nipple
Oh yeah, I know.
on
It was very distracting.
the fake
too.
breast that was sticking out of Pam
Yeah.
Grier's shirt.
Well, yeah. So I'll say 4.5, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So, so really quickly before we go,
Yeah.
I do want to say for all the people that came up and said hi to me, there was a few people that came up and said hi to me at the
Oh, nice.
TBTL 4000th
Yeah.
episode.
Yep.
I wasn't at the show, but I busy
Showed
doing
up.
other things. Showed
Yes.
up later at,
Yeah.
at like kind of the after party, and
Right.
a few people came up, said hi. Listener DJ, of course, is always at these things.
Oh yeah.
DJ
Yeah.
came over, but I have to give him credit. He had texted me earlier in the week that yes, our phone number does indeed still work, because someone was asking about. We talk about give us a call, and they're like, you never give the phone
Yes.
number out because I don't.
Yeah.
It's 206-395-5763.
Oh, would love to hear from you.
395-5763.
And this will go straight to our Gmail account whenever we get
Yeah.
a voicemail, and
Yeah.
we can play it off of that too.
Yeah,
So,
and keep in mind we're going to use it on air probably if you do.
oh yeah,
put something
yeah,
up
for
there.
sure. But we
So,
would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, yeah, and congratulations to TBTL for
of course, man.
4,000
What a
episodes.
huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, shit. We're
Yeah.
slowly just on You Blew It, we're slowly getting up to that 100th.
Yeah, where are we at? We're like 35.
No, we're like 80 something.
Oh wow,
We're coming up on 100, my friend. So I don't know what you want to do with that.
They better start doing fucking 2 shows a day.
Shit,
because we're gonna catch up real quick.
We're coming for them.
15 more years.
Yep. All right, brother. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, man.
So.
Do you have a piece of dialogue?
Oh shit. Do you?
There's a lot of ball talk.
Oh yeah,
early
man.
on too. A lot of. I'm gonna put your balls in a vice.
Oh,
I'm gonna cut your balls off and wear them as earrings.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear your balls as earrings. Cut print.
Done.